You name me down there, I'll watch it. Richard Petty, Rusty, Awesome Bill, Irvin Gordon, Earnhardt Smith, Johnson Jr. Used to say Mama was a NASCAR fan. I was born in Talladega up in the stands. The fans all cheered the second I arrived. The loudspeaker said the boys born to drive. We didn't have money for a pacifier, so I sucked on the valve of a Goodyear tire. A 7-pound, 8-ounce son of the South, born with a taste for racing in my mouth. She named me down there, Walter, Richard Petty, Rusty, Awesome Bill, Irvin Gordon, Earnhardt Smith, Johnson Jr.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Speedway Review on a Thursday night. Why a Thursday? Because we had technical difficulties last night. My name is El Falcone, the greatest luchador ever in the history of ever. Coming for the Tennessee Titans this weekend. They will lose terribly to me. That's right. And any Tennessee Titan fan will have their butt cheeks spread by the size 11 foot. Because El Falcone does not lose.
All right, there you have it.
With me, as always, right below me is Stat Boy Corey Huffnagel.
What's going on?
From the deepest, darkest ranges of Raccoon Country, we have the Tank, J.R. Tanksley.
What's up?
And, of course, the producer extraordinaire, the man with no hair, the man that makes it all possible, is Big Herm, Michael P.S. Herman.
Hello, hello.
Let me take off all this rigmarole before Halloween, and we'll get down to business in just a second. But while I'm saying that, Corey, you got any news and notes to talk about?
Okay, so my biggest news of the week was, boy, Chris, you look really different without the hat and glasses on. But anyways, big news story that happened yesterday. How about Jesse Love going to Richard Childress next year in Xfinity?
That kind of was a different direction. I didn't see that coming.
Honestly, I don't think anybody did because
Hi, Terry.
Yes, hello, Terry. Indeed. What's actually kind of surprising was that everybody thought, he was going to go to Joe Gibbs in Xfinity, and then who would have thought that Chevrolet would have just swooped him up, and then Richard Childress called him up and then asked him, "Hey, do you want to drive our car next year?" And honestly, I'm going to say it's a good fit, and I'm going to be really interested to see how he does in that car next season. And again, I've watched him, in the ARCA series this past year, and by God, I mean, he was literally winning, I'd probably say week after week. And not only he was winning races in the championship, but I really like that rivalry that him and William Sawalich, had in the ARCA series this past season. And I thought that was really interesting, and I thought that was fun to watch as well. Now I'm looking forward to see how he does in Xfinity next season.
Absolutely. And again, coming off a great season in ARCA, I think he's got there it is. The MVK is in the house. Good old Palm Top. MVK from down in ALA with the BMA. And she's got all her teeth, so that's a good thing. No, Jesse Love, I think, Jay Reynolds said it was too soon in the comment section, and I'm here to tell you, maybe, but look at when you take a guy from ARCA like Christian Eckes and see what he's doing on the Truck Series now and what he did the year before, this might be a really, really good and calculated move by RCR.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it's funny because, not only I thought he was going to go to Joe Gibbs and Toyota, I thought he was going to move up to Tricon Garage next year, which, of course, he did run a few races for Tricon this season. And I thought, he was going to get a full-time ride in the trucks for sure. But, yeah, I mean, honestly, surprised not only he moves up to Xfinity, but pretty much Chevrolet just takes him out of the Toyota pipeline.
Yeah, I was curious about that, and I would love to hear if TJ decides to make an appearance tonight, what he thinks. But Tank, you're steeped in all of this. What do you think about Jesse Love being ripped from Toyota going into a Chevy next season?
I don't know, really, honestly. I mean, he did really well in ARCA, and he deserves to be where he's going. So I mean, it's not like he's just one of these other sport rich kids that get a good ride. I mean, he earned it. I mean, he shows that he has talent behind the wheel, and we'll just see where it goes. I mean, they put Sheldon Creed in there for a reason. I mean, he had talent. Trying to think of the other guys that have driven that car. Didn't Clint Boyer drive that car back in the day?
Clint Boyer, Ricky Craven, Kevin Harvick. There's been a lot of them that have been in the two. It was brief, Corey. It was like 2 races.
Craven?
But,
Yeah.
Huh.
Way, way, way back when the earth was young, the crust was warm, and you were 5.
Not to get off topic, but I would
Okay.
like to send my thoughts and prayers to everybody affected last night in Lewiston, Maine.
Yeah.
Such a it went so we won't touch on it a lot, but just wanted to say that the Speedway Review sends our thoughts and prayers to everyone involved and affected.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, did anybody catch the Zane Smith story?
The fact that he's going to Cup next year for Trackhouse.
No,
the
the other one.
No.
After this weekend, good old Zane Smith was disqualified in the race for having the Harvick issue, the unsecured windshield.
Yeah.
I mean, his was obvious, though. I mean, you could obviously tell that windshield was messed up.
Oh, see, I don't know the difference. I just watch the race. I watch trucks and the cars move around. I try to block out Jeff Burton every chance I get.
I could see through it. It was working for me, sir.
There you go.
I mean, you could tell that there was something wrong with the windshield, though, because right about the nameplate on the top of the windshield, you could see the obvious indentation where it was dented in. So I don't know if it was because a bracket was broke or if he had hit something or something had hit him. I don't know how that happened, but that was definitely an issue.
No, completely understood, and I get that. But again, it's like they're finding anything they can find nowadays, depending on who you are. Again, I still think Corey's check made a difference with Ryan Blaney, with whatever was going on with Ryan. But we have Harvick, now we have Zane Smith. What does Jay have to say? Windshield was so bowed, you could have used it for a motorcycle ramp. All right, well, Jay's in the business, so
Right.
I always defer to him. Do not make me, guys, put the mask back on, because I will. I will.
Here's my philosophy on this, though. It's like if it's an on-track issue, like say you hit a bird or a piece of debris comes off a car from a wreck and hits the windshield and it dents it, you shouldn't be penalized for that.
No, absolutely not.
And I feel like NASCAR, the officials are kind of stepping above their boundaries and like, oh, well, something hits your windshield, we're going to penalize you for it.
Okay, but there are some that will say that they were completely within their boundaries if that didn't happen. And there's so much film, there's so many camera angles that will show, or in some cases, everything is collated and quantified now in a NASCAR race versus, say, 1996. Between the 16, 17, 25 billion camera angles, there's, certain people looking, there's in-car cameras. There's so much now that they didn't have then. They could have picked it up early and called the team in. That's my opinion. Right. Don't everybody speak at once.
No, I agree. I can't really argue with the points. So there's not, for me, there's not much to say.
Well, it's kind of like, and we could talk a little about football. Back in the day when we watched football, it was like a 7-camera shoot. Now we lost Tank. And nowadays, especially watching this weekend's game where Desmond Ritter for the Falcons.
You've got the fucking flyover camera now that's with the fucking wire with the cable system. That thing can go anywhere, do anywhere.
Who invented that?
I don't know.
Vince McMahon.
Did he?
The XFL. Yep.
Yeah.
Because you can follow the guy and literally then go ahead of him and spin around and watch him. It's that.
Well, here's the deal. When Desmond Ritter went ass over tea kettle and he puts the ball beyond the pylon, which looked, for all intent and purposes, like a touchdown. But then they show the other 7 just on the end zone, the other 7 camera angles that show his hand went down at the 1, basically, and then his foot touched somewhere else, and it's like, nope, that's not a touchdown.
No, he
Okay.
was by inches. It was inches.
Yeah. But still, I mean, I didn't bitch. I always say, let me see the replay. Let me see. I don't want to be that guy that gets up and stands and cheers and does the thing, and then you find out you're an idiot. Because it's better to keep your mouth shut and let people think you're an idiot than open your mouth and pretty much confirm their suspicion. Speaking of confirming my suspicion, here's the tank.
Sorry, hit the wrong.
He had to go get his Tennessee Titans hat.
No, I've had this thing on.
All right. Well, just so you Speedway folk know, the Tennessee Titans will be losing to the Atlanta Falcons this weekend, and in a few weeks, Tank will have his shirt. I can't show you my leg. I'm sitting down. I got Atlanta Falcon tattoos on my leg. Corey's seen him. He knows.
Yeah.
But again, going back to the NASCAR thing, there's so many camera angles now in 2023 that they can pick up anything they want. When you see, guys in the pits and blah, 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 and when it was the 5-lug system, and before you could skate that 5th lug nut. You got 4 tight and one's loose and you didn't get it all the way. Now there's cameras everywhere. They catch you, and they'll catch you doing stupid shit.
Right.
So what else do we got? Jay says the officials have been that anal all season. The truck Jake Drew drove for us at Nashville. We had to replace the nose on it during tech. Come to find out, it was molded wrong when we got back to the shop. Okay. Caleb Hodge says, I want to mention to JR, know anything about the 2 mods in my profile picture? It's part of my collection.
Who asked?
Caleb Hodge asked that.
No.
All right. Figure it out after the fact.
Yes. Send me a direct message and we'll figure this out because I have no idea what you're talking about at the moment.
Right. I'm going to go back to Jay's comment because I really do think he hit the nail on the head. They are a little bit anal this year with some of these penalties. And I don't think it necessarily helps. If you ask, Dale Earnhardt, Ricky Rudd, Mark Martin, Rusty Wallace, those guys, if you've ever been to the NASCAR Hall of Fame and you see some of the tools that they fashioned to work on these cars, Earnhardt used to say it. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Right.
And of course you want to get a competitive edge over everybody there. But again, I figure as long as your template's good, as long as your engine's up to stuff, a little cheating is okay. A lot of cheating, not so good. Jay says officials spend a lot of time around the Romeo windows the last few races, so don't be surprised if that comes into play at Phoenix. We're going to talk about Phoenix in just a bit.
The fuck is
because
a
yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not. Maybe it's a typo. Don't be mad. Jay Reynolds is a friend of the show.
Yeah, no, I'm not mad. I'm curious as to. I'd like more understanding.
Understood. And you can understand more watching the Speedway Review each and every week now on YouTube. That's right. Our YouTube channel just opened. I'm going to have Herm tell you a little bit more about that.
Yeah, we are officially on YouTube. We're on YouTube. We are also on Twitter, the Speedway Review. You can find us. There's a couple that are that have similar names.
The old ones.
Pages, but you will know it's us because we have that logo over there. We've got that right up. That's our logo. So you guys will all know it's us when you're searching. So go to YouTube and like the channel, subscribe. Please. There it is.
We
there
also
you go.
for an Instagram. So go check us out.
Ooh. Now I don't have access to either of those. So if I want to make a video, I'll send it to one of you two jamokes and you throw it up there. If you could throw Jay's next comment up, he just explained the Romeo window for you, Herm. He says the clear plastic that follows the roll bar up against the rear window to the bed. Romeo window.
Okay.
Makes sense. All right.
Yeah.
So, any other news and notes you want to talk about? Because we have 3 series to go over tonight. And, of course, Martinsville next week for the Xfinity and the Cup. Of course, fantasy points.
Or some
And I hope somebody brought questions for the last 10 minutes of the show where we play Stump Stat Boy.
Oh, Jesus.
And, guys, you guys can get in on this too. Herm, did you say you built an email address for us?
we will have an email address. We do. I mean, we have the Speedway Review at gmail.com. If anybody wants to contact us, as soon as I have the website up and loaded and ready to roll, we will also have email based on our name. So it'll be whatever everybody wants their name to be. So it'll be Big Herm
Statboy
at the speedwayreview.net or .com, depending on what I choose. It'll be Statboy Corey or Statboy at the speedwayreview.com. So we're working on that too.
Or maybe, just maybe, Al Falcone at speedwayreview.com.
It could be.
No, I'm just going to go with Chris at speedwayreview.com.
Your profile on the website's going to look real good with you in a Henry jersey.
Yeah, well, I don't have to worry about that because we're winning. Left side can be 1 inch shorter than the right side. It's to keep them on the ground when they get sideways. Also, a lot of the time with the side skirts around the exhaust on the right side, teams have been accidentally snagging their pant legs on them in an attempt to pull them out for more right rear downforce. Thank you, Jay. Much appreciated. It's always good. And I've said this since Jay has started, chiming in. He's been on the show a few times. When we have those technical questions, Jay is like, pow! He's right there. He's amazing. And we thank you, Jay Reynolds. Right. Jay Reynolds at jreynolds.com.
That's right.
Jay Reynolds at I'm going to answer all your questions.com. Jay Reynolds at I don't like. Uh-oh. Somebody say it. Thank you.
Chris, take
Sorry
your
about. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Hey, just an FYI, I just peeked to Duke's live stream on his TikTok, and he was running top 5 in that big league race tonight. So
nice. As long as he doesn't get wrecked while he's in the lead, he's okay.
Yo, how do I find that?
I don't know, but you're busy right now.
TikTok. Go to TikTok and go to Big Duke Sim Racing. Search Big Duke Sim Racing. It'll pull his page right up.
Somebody's in Facebook jail because it says Jay Reynolds at I can't go live for 37days.com. He's got Chris disease right now.
Jesus.
I get more 30-day bans than flat earthers, and although I must say, knock on something that resembles wood, haven't had a ban in 8 months.
That's good.
Behaving myself.
Hey, last year I had somebody report me because I said Dale Earnhardt was better than Richard Petty.
Oh, dude, geez. I got you beat. I got 30 days for a post I put up in 2016. And it was a picture of Kurt Cobain, Robin Williams, Chris Benoit, and a couple other people. And at the top of it, it said Suicide Squad.
Oh, Jesus.
And I caught 30 days for that.
Damn.
Either Herm's having a stroke or he farted.
Neither.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the first one. Oh, no.
All right.
I'm going to go with the second one. I'm sorry.
Kind of jumping ahead here to the truck race. Was anybody else somewhat impressed with Trevor Bayne's run in the Rackley truck this past weekend?
Oh, boy.
He started 32nd and, ran toward the front, which I thought it was pretty impressive.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. I think we all know what happens next.
Yeah, it was fucking great.
we all want Matty D in that truck still. We understand.
Yeah, but, I mean, we do.
Certain. See, I talked to certain individuals involved heavily with that team when I was at Nashville a few weeks ago. I heard, the story of behind why it happened, I was asked not to give names or release that information, so I'm going to leave it at that. But just know that it was something that was totally avoidable that wasn't avoided.
Going back to the Trevor Bain thing, and I don't say this very often unless my daughter's here in town, but Mr. Tanksley, what you just said may be the most insanely idiotic thing I've ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response was there anything close to a rational thought. Everyone in this panel is now dumber for having heard it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
See, everything cool that Corey just said, I ruined.
See, I went Billy Madison. He went Talladega Nights. I like that.
Yeah.
Very cool. Speaking of Talladega Nights, I'm on fire. You're not on fire, Ricky Bobby. I'm on fire. Help me. I'm a little upset that you didn't go full ape shit on that one, Herm.
I am trying to find Duke's feed.
Oh, for the love of Pete, I do the Talladega Nights, which people were laughing weeks ago that you were just pissing yourself. And
Dude, it was. I'm just trying to find his live feed right now. And
I'm going to try to stay in here, but I'm going to try to go to TikTok. If it kicks me, I'll come back. And
I'm on TikTok. I'm on his Big Duke sim racing right now.
Is it not showing him live?
It's well, I don't know what live is.
He'll have like a little red ring around his thing.
Yeah.
I had a little red ring around my thing once, but I got a cream and it cleared it up.
I was gonna say I got an ointment for that and it went away.
Yeah, it did. I think we shared that ointment.
Hey, Chris.
Her name was Russell.
Mm.
Go ahead, Tank. What are you gonna say?
My wife was listening to that. She said you're a nasty fuck for that one.
Yes, I am. Hey, stick around. I got more. Or watch on Tuesday nights. All right, Caleb comes in. Owens, David, Michael, and I'm watching the Speedway review on Facebook Live. All right, Caleb, thank you very much. Don't forget Dysfunction Junction every Tuesday night. Special Halloween episode this week. We will all be in costume, and we will be doing Am I the Asshole, featuring the Pimp Daddy of Alabama Avenue.
That's right.
Brenton Herman. Unfortunately, my daughter will not be a part. Emma Burns, no relation. She has a Halloween party to go to, and she sends her regrets. But then she said the next time we do it, she's in. So, any other news and notes you got for us, Stat Boy, or do you want to just go on to what the hell is this? Oh, there he is. He's driving right now.
Yeah.
Look at those socks. Look at those socks. Can you bring that up one more time?
I'm trying to.
Dude,
Hold on.
Every race that he's in, except for on Fridays, he wears a different pair of socks. Sometimes they're really cool. Sometimes they're weird.
Ooh.
All right. David, when you watch this back later on, I want you to send me your address. I'm going to send you a couple pairs of socks, and you're going to say, hey, you like these socks? These are my Kiss socks. These are my Batman and Robin socks. And I got these from Chris on the Speedway review, and we're just going to go, he's wearing the fucking hat, and he's got the pipe, too.
See, he's got the hat and
he took the hat pipe with him on his cruise.
I believe that.
I believe that.
Let's watch him as he's going through. He's on the back stretch right now. Looks like the back stretch.
Yeah.
Let's give a little bit of commentary for what Duke's doing. He'll be back on the show before you know it. If we do Wednesday nights, he's got to be at Tally or Daytona because this is a long track. Now he's going to go into turn one. He's going to bring it in deep, right there, hugging the yellow line. It looks like I can't see his position. Can anyone see his position?
He is. Let's see.
158th.
No.
775 laps. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, lap. Yeah, it says lap 1 of 77.5. I don't know.
All right.
27.5.
Now he's taking it in deep. He's talking to his people.
He's qualified.
Obviously. Oh, he's qualifying. Well, obviously we're not good enough for him, so he can take his socks, his pipe, and his hat, shine those sumbitches up real nice, turn them sideways, and stick them straight up his candy ass.
Yeah, that's our boy, though. If you're checking him out, go check out Sim Racing and go watch him. He's got some pretty cool stuff. He's got a pretty cool layout and a pretty cool setup for
absolutely
doing some racing.
And he is a friend of the show, so we can't pick on him too much. Unlike TJ Peters.
He's probably at home eating donuts watching the live stream right now.
Wouldn't doubt it. He's probably iRacing on some go-kart Mario Rainbow Land gimmick.
For real, he's on the Rainbow Road right now.
Hey, that was one of my favorite tracks, except for the
Good.
one where you could cut through the mountain.
That thing was
You remember
tough.
remember the tunnel? If you hit that
Yeah.
tunnel just right, you cut through. Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, buddy. Michael Owens hates crybaby Kyle Busch. Good. You tell Michael Owens he should watch our show, Caleb Hodge. And listen, I'm not in the. Actually, I am. I am in the business of disparaging people. But when was the last time when we heard, "Hey guys, I'll be on the show tonight," and our man, the Jack Man, doesn't show up?
Always.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell Jack is. He has not been around. I know he's busy trying to get some shit off the ground.
Yeah, it is what it is. So you want to talk about some? You want to talk?
Come on, he's our mascot. Cut him.
Not to cut you off, but Mama Duke sent me a message today. She said, "You tell Chris that Mama Duke will watch next week. She didn't get off till late tonight, so she's not gonna be able to watch the show tonight."
You tell Mama Dukes.
We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, and she can find us, and they'll be there forever. So when she
No.
She was actually telling me how she was showing her boss and some of her coworkers the page the other day.
You tell Mama Dukes.
I'm just saying she can do it at her leisure when it's good for her. She doesn't have to miss the show. It's like we're like DVR, baby.
That's right. That's what I tell all my friends. Hey, I missed your show, so go back and watch it.
Yeah.
It's that simple. It's kind of like if you are one of those idiots that watches the Real Housewives of whatever fucking city they're in, you go back and watch it if you miss it on whatever night it's on. Same with us.
That's right.
We're here for you anytime. Right. And you can go back in time when the fantasy points were good and the earth was warm and Corey didn't cheat to win in New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
It was
there's going to be some conspiracy on that one.
New Hampshire or this week?
Speaking of that,
the times were different then. It's just
it was different. You know.
All right, Tank's getting ready.
Me and Chris chatted the other night. I called him. Was like, "Hey man, I got an extra ticket to the Titans Falcons game. Would you like to go?" Ooh. He's got another event he's going to, which is totally awesome, by the way. Hell yeah! So we were like, "Well, we'll get together for something else." So I looked at tickets for New Hampshire for next season. I might come to New Hampshire because they're actually not as expensive as I thought it would be.
No, the tickets in New Hampshire aren't expensive.
No, and here's the deal. Here's the deal. Me and my buddy Skip. By the way, Corey, I forgot to update you, and for all you out there in Speedway land, like you give a shit. I have not seen Skip in a couple weeks, so as soon as he hands me the bread, I throw it in the bank. I Venmo you. Tickets are done. Then I get the room, and he pays whatever the balance is beyond the tickets. So if the room is like $600 for the weekend, he paid $2 and change for the tickets. He pays $2 for the room. I'm on the hook for the other $4. Yada yada, sis boom ba.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's a balancing act, kid. It's all a balancing act.
Yeah, I can tell.
I don't know shit from shit. Jay Reynolds says he has to hit the sack. Have a great week, Jay. You too. We'll be back Wednesday at our normal time, and you will be able to engage in all of it, and you don't have to go to bed. So enjoy, Jay. Thank you, much appreciated. And if you're watching college football this weekend, go Bucks.
Roll Tide, baby. Roll Tide.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna ask this of our whoever's in the chat section. What has 16 teeth and an IQ of 24?
Oh, Jesus.
A Tennessee Vols fan?
The first row at any Alabama game.
Hey, so look, I'm not even going to lie, Corey. I thought Tennessee. All right.
He just scooted right over me. You know what, Corey?
Yeah.
So, hey, guess who has 18 national titles and 25 SEC titles? When you get to that level, then we'll talk.
Yeah, well, if the SEC wasn't the most protected,
you sound like a LeBron fan.
Really.
52-24. That's all I'm gonna say.
That was like what, 6 years ago? Let it go.
That's a score. What's that mean?
In your defense, you only played 7 games because your team was scared of COVID.
No, Michigan was scared of COVID. Michigan State was scared of COVID. We played all our home games. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Hey, speaking of Michigan, this is like really off topic, and we'll get back to racing in a second. But is anybody else kind of impressed at Michigan this year?
No,
because they're stealing signs.
What the fuck?
Well, I mean, when they get caught doing that,
Next
but
Houston Astros, right there.
We're Ohio State fans, and you ask if we give a fuck about Michigan.
Well, I mean, I'm an Alabama fan, but I mean, I can admit that Tennessee's having a good year.
Well, see, everybody has a fault, and there's yours.
You can't be a real. You guys know, and I'm going to say this right now to you two at the bottom there, bottom of the screen, Tank and Statboy. You can't be real Alabama fans because you have all your teeth, and you can spell elephant.
And none of them are green.
Are fake. They're fake.
But wait, are they yours?
No, they're fake.
Did you pay for them?
Hell yeah, I paid a lot of money for them.
See,
Then
you
they're
probably don't have
yours.
to share them with your wife
Actually,
to
I
eat a
got both my teeth.
cheeseburger, right? See, there you go.
Grant,
Hey, look,
JR.
I was raised in Colorado. So
There you go, baby. It's your turn.
I was raised.
JR, are you done eating? Grandpa needs the teeth. Hold on.
Grandpa needs his teeth back.
Get my teeth back.
Hey, Grandpa played for Bear Bryant in the '60s, so I have a
No
legit.
shit. Okay, no. All right. If your granddad played for Bear Bryant, you have a legitimate
Legend.
lineage. Unlike Corey Huffnagel, you have a legitimate lineage to the Alabama crid. You don't know what lineage means?
No.
This year, Corey will get a dictionary, courtesy of the Speedway Review.
I love one.
Safety for Bear Bryant.
Go ahead, Tank.
He was a safety for Bear Bryant from '63 to '66.
What's his name?
Talbot, Canada.
Can you say that in English and slower?
Talbot, Canada.
Talbert.
Tall Bert from Canada. You know him.
Oh, I've been there.
Not short Bert, tall Bert.
I went to Talbert, Canada once. It was a nice place.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, Christ.
Did he pass away in June of 04?
Who, Christ? No, he died like.
Not you, asshole. I'm talking to JR.
Oh, I didn't
No,
know
my-
that.
That's in June of 2019.
Okay, then I got the wrong obit. All right, never mind. You send me a link to him and 2019. Was his middle name Washington?
Yes, it was.
All right, here we go. I don't want to open up a wound, but he did pass away in June of 2019. Yeah, stop it. I'm looking through his obit. Wow, he got a lot of mentions in his guest book. Wow. All right. Nope. He's legit. I'm with it. All right. So, of our esteemed panel, only JR has a legitimate link to Alabama, unlike Corey, who chose them because it has a lot of A's in the name. It's easy to say, whatever.
And there's just so many divisions. I couldn't even think of one.
It's the one thing my dad and I agree on in life, and that's the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Yeah, pretty much.
I went to, again, we'll talk racing in a second. I went to Florida in December of 85. And in the same hotel we were staying at for our Disney vacation, the Ohio State Buckeyes were staying for their Citrus Bowl appearance. I forget. I don't even remember who they played, but I ended up getting a hat out of the deal. So minted lifelong from that moment. Kind of like meeting Rusty Wallace. It's like, hey, have a hat. Okay, I'm a fan. And my dad was a lifelong and is a lifelong Ohio State guy. So my brother, same thing. Most of my family, same thing. So, Buckeyes runs deep in my blood. And Herm's son was going to play for Ohio State.
He was supposed to. Yes, and COVID kind of fucked all that up.
Yeah.
And not just with playtime. There was no season for anybody to really scout.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now, as we talk about racing, finally, we're going to start with the truck series. Is it any wonder to any of you that your final four, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute, your final four for the championship finished 1 through 4 at the truck race this week in Miami? Kind of apropos to me. Unfortunately, our man did not have the really good race. According to his Instagram and his Facebook, one penalty completely horseshit. The other penalty, he owns it. Christian Eckes, unfortunately, did not make the Final Four, and it broke my heart. I couldn't even reach out. I didn't know what to say. I honestly did not know what to say to him.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. After they did what they did, I turned the race off.
With the speeding penalty?
Yep, turn the race off.
Hey, look, I can tell you this. Let me tell you why NASCAR penalized him.
Because they're dicks.
Because they knew if they didn't penalize him, Hocevar doesn't advance, and Eckes wins the damn championship.
Because they're dicks.
Mark my words.
Nope.
So
I don't care.
here, I'm going to put this lip candy in, and I'm going to introduce JR to a saying we've had on this show since the very beginning. Herm and I say this about sports all the time. And now that my lip candy is in, I'm going to say it.
Vince McMahon is obviously running NASCAR.
There it is. There it is. Vince McMahon runs NASCAR. If you look back at my Facebook feed, everything feed.
They saw him check up. He knew what was going on, and he knew it was out of whack, and they saw him check up.
The first penalty is ass, okay? Let's put it that way. When we're on the restart, and the guy, he took the low line, the guy ahead of him, or the guy on the top, got a little squirrely, and I don't know if they had contact or whatever, but he went below the line. He did not advance his position. He got right back up, and the race went on.
Like just dipped down. I mean, 2-3 races ago, we had a no lockup rule, and we had 2 trucks lock up for a lap and a half almost. Nothing. But
not taken, was your boy
with
locking bumpers?
With no change, no position change. It literally was a dip down and up. They gave him a penalty. That one was bullshit, just bullshit. The next one was fucked up.
The speeding one, he admitted was his fault. He went out a little bit too hot. He admitted it in the post race. He admitted it on Facebook. He admitted it on Instagram.
I'm aware of that, but he also caught himself. That was the tire lockup. He was counting, and he counted, and the numbers didn't jive, and he jammed on it.
Who had
stake
at the beginning of this partnership? Who had Herm would be a huge Truck Series fan on their bingo card?
Dude, I'm sorry, but in my opinion,
nobody's taking the jackpot on this one.
Exciting series to watch.
Nobody.
It is.
Not even me. I couldn't stand the fucking Truck Series when it started, and when I was like, "All right, I'll watch the trucks." Fine.
And now you're hooked.
No, this shit's pretty good.
Now I'm going to throw this to Corey and JR, whoever wants to start. Actually, I'm going to say, Corey, I want you to start. Do you remember Talladega a couple years ago? Matty D is in position to win. He gets forced down the track. He goes underneath the line. He does not advance his position. He comes back up. He's got momentum. Then he advances his position. He's looking like he's going to win the race. He finishes second.
And then they slammed him with a penalty.
They took it all away. Corey, I want you to go to that, and then I want you to kind of equate it to what happened with Christian this past weekend at Homestead-Miami.
Well, for starters, I can tell you what really happened years ago, and I remember watching that race. And
I will punch you in the butt if you disparage the good goddamn name of Matt Benedetto.
Okay, so not only
say whatever you want to, Corey. It's your time. You do.
So not only Matty D, gets penalized for forcing someone below the yellow line, but NASCAR pretty much just fucked up the race for everybody, and they pretty much made that race, Mickey Mouse. Not only Matty D got penalized, but then they forgot the fact that Denny Hamlin went below the yellow line but kept going, but then didn't come out of the yellow line until he came out of turn 4. So then NASCAR kind of said, okay, we're gonna let that slide, and then we'll give Hamlin the win anyway, and then they pretty much just screwed up the race for everybody. And honestly, if they would have penalized Hamlin for that, people would have been outraged. But then yet again, there's going to be times, where you're going to see a call that's, questionable or borderline, or it's going to be a gray area, whatever. I mean, the Christian Eckes penalty that I saw, yeah, I mean, you can clearly see that he kind of came close before he came to the start finish line, but then yet again, I think that was just pretty much too close to call if you think about it.
I don't like your answer, and I'm going to throw it to Tank.
I mean, I'm guessing you're going back to the let's see, the 2020 Cup race when Matty D was still in the 21.
Yeah,
Correct.
Okay, so in my opinion, if you're racing to the line for the win, that's just blocking. You're at Talladega, it's a super speedway. You have to block. It's a game of inches, just like football.
yeah.
At a super speedway, I mean, we've all seen it. You can win, excuse my language, by a peach fuzz cunt hair or lose by a peach fuzz cunt hair.
I'm sorry, Mama Tank. He didn't mean to say that.
There goes the sponsorship.
There it is, right there.
But I mean, if you're blocking for a win, no big. I mean, okay, if you intentionally push somebody below the yellow line, I can see the penalty.
Yeah.
So if they're going to do that, then they have to go back to the truck race last year that Matty D won when Ben Rhodes forced him below the yellow line, but Ben Rhodes wasn't penalized.
See, J.R. Tanksley gets it. Why doesn't everybody else?
So, I mean, unless, okay, who was the leader? I didn't catch all the truck races. Who was the leader on this particular restart? Was it Eckes or was it a guy on the outside?
Oh, no, Eckes was in about 6th. So I want to say it was either Hocevar or Heim at the time.
Okay. So if anybody in front of him,
Corey's already looking it up. We don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. So basically on the restart, it looked as if it was I think it was Tanner Gray that was leading, because there was some guys that kind of stayed out on that track position. So if you
right.
Yeah. So if
No,
you look closely, you can clearly see that Christian pulled out like just as when he was about to get to the start finish line. Like I'd probably say like that close that he pretty much pulled out.
He pulled out.
I mean, you got to think though. I mean, all these guys are, we'll say from second row back on fresher tires than the guys up front. Tanner Gray probably stays out to get track position. He's on older tires. When the restart happens, he spins. It stacks the line up.
Yeah.
Anybody that's ever drove a race car knows when the line stacks up, to avoid nose damage, you're going to go either outside or inside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The bottom uses to cut down low to avoid damage to the nose of his truck. In instances like that, NASCAR needs to back off a little bit. Like, look, this could have been a 20 truck pileup on the front stretch.
Amen to that.
So
that was to go back to. I'm sorry, Tank. Go ahead.
I mean, is that what they're trying to do here? Is just cause 20 truck pileups or 20 car pileups every time you turn around?
I was at Dover in, I want to say 2017, 2016, on a mid-race restart. Jimmy Johnson, who is the control car, spun his tires and caused a 17-car pileup, taking out just about every really super good car except one who went on to win the race, and that was Matt Kenseth.
Hey, not to say you're wrong, but he didn't spin the tires. He missed second gear, or he missed a gear.
Okay, fair. Same. Whatever. He caused a 17-car pileup on a restart. But you're the control car. This wasn't that situation. And I'm not, look, you guys can call me a shill for Christian. Yes, he's a friend of the show. Yes, I consider him a friend. But let's be honest. That restart penalty, he could have gotten past the speeding penalty, which he admitted it was his fault. But come on. That restart penalty was horseshit on a stick, and I think everybody here knows it.
Yeah, when the speeding penalty, all right, he'd have taken it, but when it compounded with the dipping penalty, he's fucked. As soon as they were like, and he's gonna get penalized and he's gonna have to do a lap through.
Consider this: if that original penalty doesn't happen, the speeding penalty may or may not have affected him. He had already battled his way back through the field by the time the speeding penalty happened during a green flag pit stop. He'd already battled back into the top 10.
Yep.
So God only knows what would have happened. We spent enough time. We'll have Christian on the show in a couple weeks. I'm sure we will.
I mean, we can all night and discuss times and cars in line on restarts or trucks in line have dipped before the start finish line and not been penalized. Had that been, a Hocevar or, Grant Enfinger, would they have thrown the penalty? Probably not.
I don't want to say this out loud, but I'm going to, because if he ever comes on the show, I like Carson Hocevar. I'm not going to lie.
I do too.
But
Carson, great guy.
Right now, it seems as if they're treating Carson Hocevar as the face of the Truck Series, which, in my opinion, he is not. Corey muted his microphone. I want to hear what he has to say. Come on now.
They're just going to just
See the thing about Carson Hocevar. What I like about him is that
nothing.
That's what I do like about him.
Like nothing.
But anyway, so the one thing I like about him the most is that if you saw last season, I mean, the kid couldn't even win a race, and now, fast forward a year later, the kid already has 4 wins and is already competing for the championship. And to add this up, he's going up to the Cup Series next year, running for Trackhouse, and I mean, who would have thought that he was going to move up the Cup full time next season? But I mean, the one thing about Carson that I don't like was pretty much Texas. And if you guys remember that one, Nick Sanchez was battling Zane Smith, and then they try to go 3 wide on the front stretch, and then next thing you know, Carson hooks somebody, and then not only those guys get taken out, but then Christian Eckes, of course, is a passenger that gets taken out also. But yeah, other than that, I thought the race on Saturday was decent. I mean, I will say, there was a lot of pit strategy that I was really interested on, and of course, Carson, Carson was pretty much had the good pitch strategy, just like how he did at Richmond, and took the lead late in the race and didn't look back. And I'm going to say this right now. I say Hocevar wins the championship.
Look, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to be honest with you. The best thing that happened to Hocevar's career was when he broke his ankle at Gateway last year.
I remember that.
Because ever since then, I mean, the dude come out the next race with a boot on and sat on pole in the truck race at Sonoma.
Yep.
I mean, it's got to say a lot, dude. I mean, the kid's tough.
Oh, yeah. I believe it.
Not taking any of that away from him at all. Any of it.
Right.
I just think, and I go back, and Herm kind of alluded to it, and I know I'm going to get a lot of hate mail. Actually, I'm not, because we don't have our email set up yet.
Well, we still have the Speedway review at you can send a hate mail to the email. I'll just have to pass it along.
It's the same shit that went on in the late 90s with Jeffrey Michael Gordon.
Yep.
They're just going to golden boy him.
And that's what pisses me off, because as he's coming to the Cup Series next year, is he going to be judged on his talent or the fact that he's a young, fresh face?
I mean, I think that could go both ways, though. I mean, I think I mean, Josh Berry, I mean, sort of the same situation, drives full-time, but he's in full-time in Xfinity for Junior. There's some stuff that happens to Chase Elliott. Josh gets to step in, ran really good at some races, finished second at Richmond behind Kyle Larson. So I mean, he's proved that he can run the Cup Series. He hasn't quite had the success in the Cup that Barry had, but granted, Barry went in with a Hendrick Motorsports car, and I'm sorry, but Chris Burns could run second at Richmond in a Hendrick Motorsports car.
I could win at every track except, and I'll say this out loud, Pocono, because not only do I hate it to watch, I hated it to drive on every NASCAR game ever in the history of ever. I am a 13-time Cup Series champion on NASCAR Thunder 2003, and the only race I could not win was Pocono.
The The tonal turn got you every time, didn't it?
Actually, no, it was the one going to the front stretch, that big sweeping turn.
Turn
Hate
3.
it. Yep, hate it.
I always come in. I always used to come in like a half a lane off the berm and just let the car roll. And as soon as it touched the apron, I was hauling ass back in the throttle.
Tunnel turn was easy because if you have an opening, I could get down low and cut it and then get up back on the gas. And now we're doing iRacing. This is horseshit. Can we talk about the actual fucking race, please?
All right. Yes. So
All right.
good and bad, right?
I love you guys, and I mean that from the bottom of my ass. So Carson Hocevar wins that race, and he did not do poorly. He was good all day long. Got to give it to Carson. Ben Rhodes came in second. Corey Heim third. Grant Enfinger fourth. That's your Truck Series top 4, by the way. And Bailey Curry scores himself a top 5. Stuart Friesen, go ahead, Corey. Do it. Say it.
Finished the 6th.
Yes, he did. Matt Kraft in 7th, Roger Carruth 8th, Ty Majeski 9th, and Chase Purdy rounded out your top 10. Your other notables, Jack Wood finished way behind the finger, so the finger didn't get to the wood, was 12th. Trevor Bain, that guy that ran in that truck that really shouldn't have been there, was 14th.
That ran that race.
Yeah.
That guy.
That guy. Nick Sanchez was 17th. Marco Andretti, 18th. The dumbest name ever in the history of NASCAR.
Wallace Allen.
Wallace Allen came home in 19th. Christian Eckes in 20th. We had Tyler Ankrum in 25th. Haley Deegan in 28th. I wonder how that's sat in the never mind. Colby Howard was 30th. Spencer Davis, not the one of the Spencer Davis 5, was 32nd. Spencer Boyd, 33rd. And all the way down, based on a penalty, in the BJ McLeod position, Zane Smith. So, Stat Boy, my man, if you're happy as anything other than Stuart Friesen, you are banned from the show. You're happy and sad for the truck race.
Actually, my happy is going to be Bailey Curry finishing.
Well, you're banned from the show. Nice talking to you. Go ahead, please.
Well, I was just going to say I'll see you guys next week. But I would have to say my sad would have to go to Nick Sanchez, because I was hoping that this was going to be a kid that was hoping that he was going to run pretty well and, hopefully win a race. And God, it just so surprises me that, he comes in the Truck Series this year and he runs well, but just hasn't had the wins, the proof for it. And of course, not to mention, Rev Racing, is being aligned by Kyle Busch Motorsports. And of course now, Kyle Busch Motorsports is going to be selling its operation to Spire next season. So that'll be interesting to see what happens.
All right. Tank, you're up. Happy and sad from the truck race.
Ooh, I've got 2 on both sides.
Jesus, he's herming it. He's been a part of the show for 3 months, and he's already herming it.
Well, I mean, you got to say this. A sad definitely has to go to Christian Eckes, of course. A happy, of course, got to be Hocevar. My second happy is going to be, I hate to say it, but I got to say the run that Trevor Bain had for Rackley. I mean, they started 32nd. He worked his way through the field, fought, and ended up 14th.
Herm, I hate to say this. We have to ban 2 people from the show.
Yeah.
And then I guess my other sad's going to be Eckes not making the round of 4.
Agreed. Agreed.
On here and talk to you about that race.
All right.
Is that your wife?
No, that's my sister-in-law. That's my other wife. Yeah, it's my other wife.
He is an Alabama fan. He has a sister wife.
It's a sister wife. Ding,
No, that's
ding.
my wife's sister.
Yeah.
Same.
In Alabama,
Alabama,
it's the same. Forward,
Alabama-
backwards, it's all the same person.
Alabama, West Virginia. What's the difference? God
Yes.
bless you. Do you remember eating that?
I do remember eating that.
I had that same problem earlier.
I'm sorry.
Watch Herm's face. I had perhaps the best burger of my life today, And it came with Cajun tots, but what did I have to wash it all down? A super huge strawberry shake.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, guess what's been repeating on me all day?
The Burger King.
No, the strawberry shake. It was Wayback Burger in Rocky Hill.
Ooh.
Very good for a chain. Fantastic. If you're ever up in my area, grab a Wayback Burger. Just don't get the strawberry shake. You'll be farting all day long. Did somebody say strawberry? Well, looky who wants to be in the comment section. Hey,
Where the
TJ,
fuck you at, buddy?
take the binky out of your mouth and come on the panel, bro.
It's about damn
All
time.
right. So, Herm, it's your turn. Happy and sad from the truck race.
Fuck Carson Hocevar.
That escalated quickly.
All right. Oh no, it hasn't escalated.
Does
yet.
this make this
Yeah.
my nephew fun?
Fuck NASCAR
Oh, Jesus. Here we go.
And the Diaz brothers.
and the fucking Diaz brothers.
And
My sad is a double whammy. It's Ekis not finishing the race. It's not having a chance to win the race, and it's Ekis out of the final. My sad
Right.
is when I turned that bullshit fucking race. Or my happy is when I clicked the thing and turned that fucking shit off.
oh,
Wow.
Jesus. Wow.
mad. Very mad this week with the racing.
Have
Pissed.
have to do
Not the-
sponsor photo
not-
shoot.
It's
Sorry,
not the team.
I was reading TJ's comments because, as we know, TJ carries a teddy bear to work with him. But
Her
we love
sponsor
TJ
photo
Peters.
shoot escort stuff. You got escorts?
He's an escort.
Oh,
Are you
is
an
he?
escort? Is that how you make the money? What? I
Ooh,
have so many questions now.
does Stephanie know this?
A sport. Maybe he's trying to be French. I have to do sponsor photo shoot. A sport stuff.
Yes, sport.
Esprit a sport. Yeah.
You can take the donkey to the top of the rim.
Trim, or you can take the tram.
It is the same price. Anyway,
So I take the donkey.
I'm going in a little different position. My happy's going to go to Bailey Curry, 5th place. Good run for that kid. Look, he's never really gotten a quality ride, but to see him finish 5th was great. Again, I'm going to mimic all of you guys. My sad, Christian Eckes. It
Yeah.
sucks because I think all of us had Christian Eckes in our top 4 going into 2 weeks from now in Phoenix to be in the championship run. But I'll
Yes.
give Christian a lot of credit. In his post race, he's like, you know what? We're not done. We're not done. What I want to see is for Christian to go into Phoenix, just absolutely obliterate the competition, finish
Put
first.
everybody into the wall.
Right. No. Run that race
Oh.
ragged. Finish the race. He comes home, he gets a checkered flag, and whoever, I don't care if it's Hocevar, Rhodes, Heim, or Enfinger, they're raising the trophy. It's like, hey, you know what, guys? Raise that trophy. Enjoy. I just whooped your ass. Boom. That's what I want for Christian Eckes. So, going into Phoenix in 2 weeks, here are your championship 4 contenders. In the 11, Toyota, Corey Heim. In the number 42 Chevrolet, Carson Hocevar. In the number 99 Ford, Ben Rhodes. And in the number 23 Chevrolet, Grant Enfinger. Going around the room, we'll start with Corey. We'll go to Tank, Herm, and then myself. Who is going to walk away from Phoenix, the Truck Series champion?
Honestly, I'm going to say Hocevar.
Okay. Tank?
Enfinger. I think Grant goes out in GMS's last year and Cinderella stories it.
That would be pretty awesome.
I like that.
Herm's yelling at his dog. Hold that thought. Herm, who's going to walk away with the Truck Series championship?
I don't care now.
Wow.
Oh, Jesus.
I'll make Herm's
Fuck!
I'll make Herm's pick for him because then we'll all have a different pick. Herm is going to go with the American Dream, Ben Rhodes. And I am going with Corey Heim. I think Corey's got what it takes to take the competition.
Thank you. No, okay.
Not you.
I'm kidding. I know. No, honestly, like looking at this championship four, honestly, like I'm kind of surprised that Ben Rhodes made it, which I didn't really have him in my championship four, but no, I'd have to say Corey Heim and Carson Hocevar are going to be the ones to watch for, but don't be surprised, and if you put Grant Enfinger in that mix, because that team's been pretty stout this season as well. And I really liked what Tanksley said is hopefully Grant can win the championship, and GMS Racing goes out on top. Honestly, like if Hocevar doesn't win it, I really want to see Enfinger win it.
That's cool. But we've established Herm's guy, so in 2 weeks at Phoenix, Herm's rooting for the American Dream, Ben Rhodes.
Hey, so here's my question. If Eckes hypothetically was still in the championship 4 run, right, would Herm have been Christian fucking Eckes as a pick?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, he would have.
Same
Is
here.
that fucking unclear? do you need a Q-tip to clean out your fucking ears?
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, I'm curious on how you would have said it. Okay, say he was in it. How would you have said it?
What, if he was in the Final Four?
How
He's
would
fucking
you
winning. Jesus, I don't even understand the question.
No, I mean, how would you say it though? Would you be like just Christian Eckes? Would you be like Christian fucking Eckes?
Yeah, absolutely. That's who's
Yeah.
that's who was supposed to take it.
Hey, I'm going to tell you this right now. I can guarantee you the championship winner will not win the race.
Absolutely not, because Christian Eckes is winning that damn race.
Yeah. I kind of want to see that different, even though the last couple of years, the guy that's won the championship has gone on to win the race. And then there's been a few times where, somebody won the race and then the other guy finished the other guy finished, ahead of the other three and won the title anyway. So
Crafton.
I haven't seen the points.
Well, yeah.
I haven't seen the points difference, but if Hocevar runs top 10 all day, doesn't he automatically, like at the end, if he runs top 10 all day, doesn't he pretty much solidify the championship?
No, because they reset the points to 4,000. He could run top 10 all day, all he wants, but if someone finishes ahead of him by a certain amount, then they're going to take it.
Does anybody wish they would go back to the old school point system?
Yes and no. And I'm going to explain it because there's a lot of NASCAR fans or former NASCAR fans or fringe NASCAR fans that ask me that question all the time. This adds a certain air of what if. You know what I mean?
Right.
Every sport has a playoff. Every sport has a knockout, whether it's baseball, football, tennis, basketball, if you watch that, Thugs in Shorts, hockey. Everything has a playoff where you get eliminated, and then Mike, you want to put your comment on the board because I just saw it. I just need to see it on the screen. There it is. Christian fucking Eckes. I think when they started this years ago, and I think it was 2014 when Harvick won it. I think it's great. It adds a little bit of spice and excitement. There was nothing worse when I would watch a race and they say, well, all Dale Earnhardt has to do is complete 13 laps and not crash, and he's the champion. Or all Jeff Gordon has to do is start his car, and he's the champion. Garbage. Straight garbage. This is a sport that consistency wins. And you have 26 races to be consistent to get in that round of 16 or 10 or 12, depending on what series you're watching. This is exciting. And you don't know walking into Phoenix or in the past, Homestead-Miami, who's going to walk away with this. Because if you root for, and dare I say his name because he's the Mark Martin of the modern era, Denny Hamlin, if you root for Denny Hamlin and he's in that Final Four and he has early troubles, get out. You're done. You worked all your life for this moment. Go grab it. That's it. And I think it's great. And I love this playoff system. I shouldn't, because if it wasn't for this, playoff system, Kevin Harvick would have 4 championships by now, but he doesn't. And I'm okay with that because this is the way we have to live our NASCAR lives and decide who the champion is.
Okay.
I hope that answered your question.
Yeah.
And for Mama Dukes, there it is.
So this is like jumping kind of ahead a little bit in the show, but this is like the cup aspect of it. So like, also it could be a host of our thing, right? So last year he goes out, runs, leading the race on the last lap, gets screwed 3 or 4 times, gets wrecked once or twice. Yeah, I think he has a tire go flat once, runs out of gas once. But once you get that first career big win, I feel like it really boosts your confidence. Look at Chris Buescher this year. He had 1 career win. It was a rain-shortened race. He wins 1 race.
Back then, yes.
So, I mean, but, this year, I think it was Richmond. I could be wrong, but I think Richmond was the first race he'd won this year. And him and Keselowski, honestly, both cars were dominant all day. But he got that first career, actual first career win, racing the full race, and it boosted his confidence so much.
Oh, of course. Once you break the glass ceiling, it just takes everything off of your chest and your shoulders, and you're like, good granny, I won a race. Hello, Bill Bingham. What up, boys? Go Austin Dillon and Chase Elliott. Give me 1 second, Bill. I can tell you whether or not I'm allowed to say anything poor.
Bill, go Niners.
Austin.
No, it's not. It's not November 1st. You can't say it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Here. So this was brought to my attention on Sunday when I was hanging out with Bill and his beautiful, wonderful, awesome wife, Gina, before I took all their money playing cards. She told me the story about how she chose Austin Dillon as her driver. They went to a race. I want to say it was in Talladega, and it was in October, and Austin was the only guy to have anything pink or breast cancer or what have you on his car. And she said, that's my guy. So going forward on this show, I am not allowed to pick on Austin Dillon in the month of October. And that was me. I said that. I'm not going to do it.
You never said we couldn't. I'm just kidding. Austin Dick Lips.
No, I didn't say it. Gina, don't beat me. I'll see you Saturday.
Sorry, I coughed.
Whatever. Okay. We'll go on to the Xfinity race. Kind of boring. Not a whole lot going on, but Sam Mayer comes home with the win. And I thought the race was really pedestrian. And when I get to my happy and sad, I'll tell you my happy. Say again?
Lackluster.
Very much so. Corey, what did you think? Because I thought this race was kind of, color by numbers, go through the motions.
So it's funny because the first 3 races that Sam Mayer won was on a road course, and now he gets a win on an oval. And who would have thought that Sam Mayer was not only going to win the race, but punch his ticket to the championship 4? I mean, by God, I'm going to be honest, I didn't expected Sam Mayer to make the championship 4. I think he had an outside shot because if you look at the guys in the standings, that are running for this championship, let's be honest. This could be anybody's, championship to lose. because these are the guys that are pretty much run. You got Sheldon Creed, you have Justin Allgaier, Austin Hill, Cole Custer, John Hunter Nemechek, and of course
Sammy Smith.
Sammy Smith.
Here, before you get too deep, let me give you the top 8 because as we go to Martinsville, this will change. But let me find out who's locked in. Give me 1 second, and my phone does not want to help. John Hunter Nemechek is your leader. Cole Custer, the Ice Cream Man, second. Austin Hill, third. Sam Mayer locked in, so he's in the championship 4.
Yeah.
Is there any other playoff driver locked in other than Mayer?
No, not at the moment. So.
Okay, so right now it's anybody's race because as I look, the only one I can see there's 3 that I can see as a win and get in are Sammy Smith, Chandler Smith, and Sheldon Creed. That's it. Those are 6, 7, 8. Justin Allgaier is 44 points out. Austin Hill, 41 points out. The Ice Cream Man, Cold Custer, is 41 points out. And John Hunter Nemechek looks like all he has to do is start his car, and he is pointed in for the championship.
Right.
So, I mean, having said that, let's go back to the race. Like Herm said, lackluster. What did you see?
I mean, all I saw was, there was a couple guys that were running the high line, and I mean, I will say the racing wasn't like too bad. I mean, it was fairly decent, but I will say it was also great that Junior was out on the track, which I thought was pretty cool, and of course he gets into his teammate later on in the race, and
We'll talk about that.
And he pretty much admitted that it was his fault and whatever and so forth. But how about the finish of the race where, who would have thought that, Riley Herbst could have got his second win. And I had to say, like, Riley could have had maybe one more lap and then would have passed him right at the end. And by God, like, after Riley won at Vegas, I mean, I've been really impressed on how that team's been going so far. But no, I mean, I'd say it was a good race all around. And honestly, I think it's going to be interesting, coming up Saturday. And it'll be very interesting to see, who gets those last three spots. Because I have a feeling that you're going to have one that'll make it in on a win. And then you'll have two that'll get in on points. But I don't know. I mean, I think if you look at the playoff four right now, I think this is pretty much your championship four, depending on what happens. But honestly, I think it's going to get interesting.
I'm throwing this out here now before we talk about happies and sads and the running order. The one that tips the apple cart is going to be Justin Allgaier sitting in fifth.
Yeah, for sure.
One of those guys, I mean, obviously, Mayer's locked in. John Hunter Nemechek is leading the points. So you have Cole Custer and Austin Hill that are the guys that are worried right now. If I had to make an educated guess, I say that Justin Allgaier either wins or points his way in, and Austin Hill, which has happened many times this season, has an issue that drops him back. We don't do this usually until next week, but I think it's going to be JHN, Custer, Mayer, Allgaier. Those are my four. And if Cole Custer wins the freaking championship, I think all of us should chip in and buy Herm a t-shirt, because that's been his boy since day damn one that he joined our team.
Yeah.
And you got to buy it in like a 6X or something. I mean, he's dropped a bunch of tonnage. Dude, where are you at now? Like a 4X, 3X?
Yeah, it's 4s, but they're really, really big though.
All right. Corey, you heard it first. We'll take care of this business.
4X.
4X. Got it. So
right.
Coming out of Homestead, Tank, you got anything to add? Herm, I know you thought it was pretty pedestrian. We were texting back and forth.
I was honestly just kind of bored with it. I mean, the only thing, in my opinion, really exciting that happens when Junior got into Barry. I mean, that's, to me, was pretty much the highlight of the race.
And I think that's a spotter problem, because as Junior said post race, I thought I was clear. I was told I had room to move up, and unfortunately, he took out his own car. So
Yeah,
I mean,
skipping ahead, kind of like you did to next week. It's just I don't see anybody again in the championship hunt right now winning the race, because these guys are going to go. They're going to bully the fuck out of each other, trying to, get every point they can get, and it's going to backfire on every one of them.
Well, it's also a half-mile paperclip where, things can go bad real quick.
Yeah, it's 2 track strips and 2 hairpin turns. I mean, what the fuck do you want?
The guy running 23rd on 10 laps into the race could lose his brakes and take out half the fucking pit field in turn 1 or turn 3. I mean, it's possible.
Yeah,
or the guy, or
then you got to use more brake on that track, and you got to stop. You got to slow yourself down and get yourself back up. So many times it makes the acceleration and deceleration on a road course look like shit.
I'll be honest with
Name
My-
hurry up and wait. Hurry up and wait.
My pick, and yes, I know this is a championship contender, Sheldon Creed. This is his wheelhouse. He loves short track racing. He came from a short track background just like this.
Yeah, I mean it's Martinsville. You got to shove it in low and make the car so goddamn fucking tight that if you sneeze, it blows a Yui and hope it sticks.
Hey, does anybody remember a couple years ago or it was probably like 10 years ago when Greg Biffle crashed at Texas and his team's like, what happened? He goes, sorry guys, I started sneezing, couldn't hold on.
Yep.
Dude, I'm serious. Martinsville, if there was a track, if we had to do a complete drift race, Martinsville would be the track to do it. You just sit there down low and shove it in and break the ass end.
I'm going to
slide
piggyback
all the way the fuck around.
I'm going to piggyback Tank's point real quick. You know, it is a spot where, you know, if you have one minor mistake, you can drop back to 23rd, or you could be a guy sitting in 17th and rail ride around and make the playoffs, which Ross Chastain did last year, which has now been outlawed because NASCAR are a bunch of tennis-sucking douchebags.
Fuck NASCAR.
All right, so we're going to go through the running order. Everybody thought the race was, so here we go. Sam Mayer was your winner. Riley Herbst was second. John Hunter Nemechek third. Austin Hill was fourth. And Dale Earnhardt Jr. came home in fifth place. Daniel Hemrick was sixth. Parker Kligerman seventh. I got to turn this around. I can't say this very often this season. Brandon Evan Jones came home in eighth, Sammy Smith ninth, and Joe Graff Jr. rounded out your top 10. Your other notables, Parker Pretzelface was 13th. The Ice Cream Man, Cold Custard, was 13th. Justin Allgaier, 15th. Speedway Review alum Josh Williams, in a very sexy car, came home 17th. We had Jeb Burton in 20th. Leland Honeyman comes home in 23rd. We had Sheldon Creed 26th, Anthony Alfredo in 28th, Kaz Grella 30th, Josh Berry, who we just talked about, 32nd, Chandler Smith 34th, Brett Moffitt, last week's winner, was 35th, and Dawson's Creek was 36th, and all the way down due to a rear gear. I wish this would have gone better for him. In the BJ McLeod position was the Rocket Man, Ryan Newman. So, Corey, you are the leader of the pack, as Twisted Sister would say. Give me a happy and sad from this race.
Alrighty. I'm gonna say my happy is gonna go with Riley Herbst, and then I hate to break this one to you, but my sad, I'm gonna have to go to Cole Custer. I mean, I have to say, he was dominating that race.
Once
Literally
again,
had that race won.
it's like the fourth or fifth race in a row. He's fucking
There you
right there.
He's right there.
You know what?
He's
Corey.
first, he's second, he's first, he's second. And then
Corey, no matter how Cole Custer finishes, you and I are going to team up. We're going to get Herm a Cole Custer T-shirt. He's got to have his Cole. We'll make one that says the Ice Cream Man.
I'm not gonna lie. As soon as he dropped back to about 13th in that whole clusterfuck, I did the same thing I did with the truck race.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go back to Corey.
But here's the thing, though. So, and of course, I did see the messages what happened on Saturday as well. But then to add it up, then to add an insult, do you want to know why Custer got the too many men over the wall penalty?
Because there were too many men over the wall.
I was going to say that's
and plus, from what I also heard, and when I was watching the race on Saturday, was the crew chief accidentally went over the wall to adjust something on the car.
Ooh.
Yeah.
No bueno.
Yep.
Now Herm's pissed.
Dumbass.
Well, I got to be honest. I was pissed when they called it. When they called it, and I'm like, we're running so good, and you fucking numbnuts in the pits are gonna just fucking retarded monkeys can't even stay on your side of the fucking fence. I was a
On
little
that note, we're gonna throw it to the tank for his happy and sad.
Oh man, my happy's
on
got to
the
go.
Xfinity race.
I mean, anytime Junior's in a race, that's going to be my happy, unless he does shit like he did at Bristol. So, I got to go with Junior, top 5. He knew he didn't have a car that was capable of winning, but like he said, he said, I knew we had a top 5 car. So when I got to 5th place, the car leveled out, it evened out, and I knew we had a good top 5 car. My sad is kind of a two-parter. I'm going to go with Josh Berry and Chandler Smith.
Ooh. All right. Now, we already know Herm's sad is going to be Cole Custer. Let's hear what his happy is going to be.
My happy was is the old man. Last what was it? Maybe not. What was it? The last race. I'm on fire. He's out there and he's doing all right. And I'm on fire. You're not on fire, Dale. I'm on fire.
We talked about it.
So the fact that he finished it and wasn't on fire this week, and pulled out a single digit finish. Good on the old man. He hasn't done it for a fucking while. It didn't really matter how he finished. It did, you know what I mean? It plays no bearing in any of the stats. This is just like, fuck it. Let's see if I still got it.
Right, and he showed he did.
Let's see if I'm still as bad as I think I was.
Before I get to my happy and sad, dumb question around the room, I'll start with Corey. And when it comes to things like the Hall of Fame, I have really strict criteria as to who goes into a Hall of Fame. As far as the NASCAR Hall of Fame is concerned, is Junior a Hall of Famer? Starting with Corey, and we'll go around the room.
Honestly, like
he's in. We don't. I mean, look, and I'm not trying to step on you, Corey, but he's
We all know
already
he's going in.
No, he's in.
Right.
Yeah,
But
I would probably say.
Do you think he's actually a Hall of Famer?
I mean, I'm probably going to say yes and no, but then yet
Which
again,
one's heavy? Which one's heavier? Yes or no?
I'd probably say yes.
Okay, Tank.
I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with his dad, though.
No, absolutely not. Go ahead, Herm.
No, I don't think so.
I do, and I'll point to the Xfinity Championships. The NASCAR Hall of Fame covers all sorts of realms. I think too many people put the onus on his Cup career, but if you look at what he did on the Xfinity /Busch /Nationwide /Tampax /Massengill series, I think yes, because there are a lot of guys.
You don't stink.
There are a lot of guys like Richie Evans. There are a lot of guys like, no offense, but Mark Martin. There's a lot of guys in the Hall of Fame who never won a Red Farmer. There you go. Who never won at the highest level, the championship, but did enough. And I fought with a couple people about this, and I always stick up for Junior because I'm like, if you're just going to base it on his Cup career, you're an idiot. You have to look at the entire body under the NASCAR banner.
See, for me, the Cup Series is NASCAR.
Okay, but here, I wouldn't put
Roger. Nope. Listen, nobody really cares what your stats in the XFL are. Nobody really cares what your stats are in.
That's different. That's different.
No. As far as this is me. As far as my opinion is concerned, NASCAR is the Cup Series is the big show. Everything else is Farm League. All right. And AA ball and local teams
you're sort of
Old Durham.
You're sort of making my point for me, but at the same time, it's kind of crossing the point. But go ahead, please.
Like I don't really look. as it's the big show. So I don't really care what you did to get here. Nobody cares what you did once you get to the NFL. They only care what you're going to do, what you've done here. And yes, you get to advertise yourself and to sell yourself as from, Big Herm, the Ohio State, when they do the lineup and you went there, but we only discuss your pro career.
The reason I say that is because a guy like, and Herm, you might remember this name. I know there were, if you delivered papers back in the day, we all took the trip to Pawtucket to see the Paw Sox.
Yeah,
Roger
brought the kids to games a dozen times.
Right. Roger LaFrancois, a Griswold native, does not belong in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
No.
But Jason Varitek does, in my opinion.
Right.
But they played for the same organization. Now, it's different with NASCAR and baseball because of the levels and the thing, but the NASCAR body, Richie Evans deserves to be in the NASCAR Hall of Fame. Red Farmer, Mark Martin. There's a lot of guys that deserve that, but they never, excelled to like this pinnacle of raising a trophy and what have you.
But I also don't buy into that either. I mean, that's what those are that. Welcome to LeBron fans.
Jim Rice, a fantastic hitter, a fantastic left fielder for the Boston Red Sox, is in the Hall of Fame. Do you see where I'm going with this?
No, I do see where you're going with this. I just, it's just my opinion, but you've got, again, I'm also not the person that falls into, the wall just fell down.
Who's burning the house down?
Let's take something close that we both understand. Marino never won a ring, and he should have. He should have won a ring. Now, did he break all the records? Yep. But as far as I'm concerned, the records wasn't it. All right. The records were just a bunch are just totals, number totals over a body of work. I don't care about the numbers. I care about his body of work. And there you go with Mark Martin. His body of work is exquisite within NASCAR. The work he put in. Not everybody can be the colonel. Sometimes you just sergeants, bro, and sergeants get shit done. And that's Martin. That dude, if he's a cook, I'm calling him, because he comes in and he's not the fucking brightest and he's not the best cook I have. But you know what? That fucker comes in and he does the same bullshit hard ass job every day, the same way, consistently, forever. And that's Mark Martin.
I just want to say that if anybody had any questions as to why Herm's a part of this team, he kind of just nailed it. Now I'm gonna get to my happy and sad.
Go ahead. I'm
herming it. I am gonna herm it. I have two happies. One goes to Dale Earnhardt Jr., finishing 5th. He said during the race, if you caught any of the radio chatter, I don't know how these guys drive this new car. I'm lost. And he took it to a 5th place finish. My second happy is going to obviously go to Brandon fucking Jones. And my sad is going to go to Josh Berry.
I mean, let's be... Dude, the aero package he has to deal with versus what the aero package the last time he ran a car. He might as well just drive his car in fucking reverse. And it's completely learning. And on that track,
yeah. Now, we're going to go to the Cup race. This was a tale of 3 drivers. You had Ryan Blaney, who did phenomenal during this race. You had Christopher Bell, who was consistent. You had William Byron, who was, just as consistent. But when the chips fell and the flag dropped, it was Christopher Bell who came home with the win. I thought myself this was an exciting race. I don't want to throw any shade. I want to give credit to Tyler Reddick, who had a really good car. But this was really a 4-car race, in my opinion. It was Bell, it was Blaney, it was Byron, and it was Reddick. Those 4 guys were the class of the field. And Corey, I'm sure you watched this.
They just swapped the lead out over and over, back and forth. They passed the same $20 around back and forth the whole race.
And that's why Herm and I have been together for 49, 79, 89 years. Corey, you watch this race. Am I lying that these 4 were the class of the field, or is there someone you'd like to bring up?
Well, I would probably say, this race on Sunday I thought was interesting. And, the one person that, I really want to bring up, and you'll like me for this one as well. How fitting was it that Kevin Harvick drove the Budweiser car on Sunday, which I had to tell you, it brought back a lot of memories from 2014 when he won the championship in that car. And I will say, he didn't run that great, but, finishing outside the top 10, I mean, I thought it was a decent run for that 4 car. But I'd probably say the race as a whole, I thought, there were some guys that were running up the high line, and then there were some guys that, were running some middle groove, bottom groove. And I
There
thought
was
the
one
race
guy who decided to try and turn right.
That was
then went straight toward the beach.
He thought it was a road course and he turned right. I don't know.
There was a couple of those, but Corey, I want to ask you this question because I'm sure there's going to be someone that wants to hear this.
Yeah.
How crazy was it when Kyle Larson brake locked and hit the barrels?
All I could just say is he pretty much just didn't get slowed down in time.
Coming in hot.
And people blamed Blaney. There were a lot of people online that blamed Blaney for that. And Blaney was in there. He's grooving. He's running his line. Here comes Larson coming in hot. He's got to brake. He's got to brake hard. You either hit Blaney or you hit the barrels.
Dude, Larson should have braked earlier. That's literally This motherfucker knows how a car slows down. Come on, man.
Mm-hmm. That's a dirt track racer. He knows better.
He knew what the RPMs were and what gear he was in when he pulled in, and so he knows what his speed is. They practice that shit. You're in 3rd gear, and this is what the engine sounds like. How fast are you going? Literally, they know that shit. That's like shit Corey knows, but for them, like, this is the sound of your engine. And
Corey knows shit that no one else knows. That's what pisses me off.
Like, they know by a frequency what their speed is in their gear. It's all mathematically figured out in about 0.2 seconds.
All right.
So he fucking came in hot, and he just came in fucking hot.
He blew it for himself.
And then I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know if he checked out, was looking at something. You know what I mean? We all know it's possible. But
hey, driver, drive these.
Oh Jesus!
The windshield's clear for a fucking reason.
So look, before we get into too deep, we have 2 drivers locked in: Christopher Bell, who won this weekend; Kyle Larson, who won last weekend. Do you think that this is getting into the head? And I'll start with Corey. Do you think this gets in Larson's head?
I'd probably say no.
All right.
Nah, it's a fuck up. Let's go. Come on, let's go to the next race.
That's what I like to hear.
I mean, I think it would have affected him more in the race if it was in his head that bad.
I think his crew chief goes back and sets him down like he did at Charlotte. It was the 600. I think it was last year's race. Kyle comes in and goes, "I'm sorry, guys. It's not the car. It's me. I'm ass. You deserve better." His crew chief looks at him and goes, "Look, man, we're 50 laps from halfway. We can run like shit for the next 50 laps. At halfway, we're going to reset. We're going to do better. You're going to do better. We're going to be fine." I think his crew chief after this race at Homestead's like, "Look, it's okay. I'll make mistakes. We're going to regroup. We're going to come back out there, clean slate. We're going to get it done."
All right. Fair enough. Anybody else have thoughts on the race before I go through the running order and eventually get to my favorite part of the day, which is fantasy points?
Well, how about the one moment in the race where what was it? Denny Hamlin hit the wall late in the race.
Oh yeah, it looked like, and
Like,
again, it
something
looked
broke.
like
You saw that from-
exactly. He was
Something let
by
go.
he was by himself, and immediately the car just veers to the right, hits the wall, bash, boom, bang, yada yada yada, sis, boom, ba.
All done.
Yeah,
So do you want to know the reason why that happened?
I'd love to know.
Okay, so one of my friends messaged me this. He said, Crew Chief Chris Gabehart said, what appeared to happen was during downshift, an odd instantaneous power steering failure occurred and ripped the wheel out of Hamlin's hand. When shifting, there was a spike in the RPM, which is a violent event for the system.
Yikes!
Yeah.
Wow. I'm not sure how to take that, but
So
to watch him and Tank. I'm gonna get to you in a second because I have to turn off my camera. I have to run upstairs real quick, and I'm gonna let you go off philosophically. To watch that, I knew that wasn't a rookie racer mistake. Something had to have broke on his car.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, Tank, take over. I'll be right back.
Or was it just a hindsight's 2020? He says, "Fuck this! I want to go to the next race."
Yeah, kind of like that.
I mean, Blaney wasn't too happy with him after the race either.
Yeah, I heard about that, and then he called him a hack. So, but no, and then there was another part in the race where what was it? The 15 car, I think it was JJ Yaley. He took a hard hit in the inside wall. Because I guess it was Chastain. He got into the 42, and then gets into the 15 car, and then 15 goes sliding down the inside wall, and then pretty much just hits head on. So
Another victim of getting chastained.
yep, pretty much so. All I can just say is, this weekend is going to be very, very interesting to see who gets into the championship four. I mean, I'd probably say not only Cup, but I'd say most likely Xfinity. So
Okay, so I would love to see Denny Hamlin in first and Chase Elliott run second, and Chase return the favor from several years ago.
I love that.
I'm like, yeah, bitch, guess what? Bye. Have a merry off season and a happy Christmas to you.
And what's funny is that it's only like 2 races left, and Chase Elliott's yet to win a race this year. Excuse me. I mean, it's like literally just so weird because, then yet again, you've seen what's been going on with Chase Elliott this season. I mean,
his biggest kryptonite this year is his own teammate.
Yeah, I mean, have to say so.
I don't want to throw shade at Hendrick, but Rick's got to get that team as a whole under control because Larson and Elliott are just every week taking each other the fuck out for no reason.
Yeah, I would say so too. I mean, not only Chase Elliott had the leg injury that he suffered, start of the season, whatnot. Then of course he gets the suspension, which, yeah, I think it was blatant, but then yet again, it is what it is anyway. So,
Denny Hamlin's car doesn't even like Denny Hamlin. That is the best comment ever in the history of ever.
Denny Hamlin got chastained by himself.
Yeah.
Damn! Go Tank! All right, let's get through the running order. We've talked enough about this horseshit race, and wow, this top 10 looks like when you take a really good group out like Kiss and Nickelback shows up in the top 10. Christopher Bell is your winner. Ryan Blaney second. Tyler Reddick third. William Byron fourth. And A.J. Allmendinger rounds out your top 5. Bubba Wallace comes in 6th. Ty Gibbs 7th. And Torrey is not even here to defend his guy. Joey Logano 8th. Thank you. Eric Almirola 9th. And Austin Dillon, who I'm not allowed to pick on until November 1st, rounds out your top 10. Thank you, because I'm not allowed to. Other notables: Kevin Harvick was 11th, just outside the top 10. Austin Shipwreck was 12th. Ryan Preece 13th. Chase Elliott 15th. Daniel Suarez 16th. Kyle Effin Busch was 18th. Corey LaJoie 20th. Chris Buescher 21st. We have Ryan Newman in the 51 finishing 26th. Brad Keselowski 28th. Martin Truex Jr. 29th. The aforementioned Denny Hamlin 30th. Ross Chastain 31st. JJ Yeley 33rd. Oh, I thought we had a comment. I saw a flash. Sorry. Where was I? Kyle Larson 34th. Josh Bilicki in the 78 car in absentia of the aforementioned BJ McLeod was 35th, and all the way down in the BJ McLeod position where he belongs, because you know who wouldn't have finished in 36th? Matt DiBenedetto. But Harrison Burton finished 36th. Corey, this is the part where I say, Corey,
Yes.
watch this. Alexa, play The Chase is Better Than the Catch by Motorhead.
The Chase is Better Than the Catch by Motorhead on Amazon
damn it.
Music.
Alexa, stop. I couldn't help it. I'm sorry. Corey, give me your happy and sad. That's a great song, by the way. You'll love it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna say my happy overall. I think it's gonna go to Blaney. And no, it's not because the penalty that he was rescinded on, and he's jacking off. But hey, Beavis, he's jacking off. But all right. So my happy's gonna go to Blaney, not because of the penalty, but for the way that he's been running this season. And my sad, on the other hand, I'm gonna have to say MTJ.
Okay, fair enough. Tank, you're up.
My happy is going to be Harrison Burton finishing dead fucking last. Another reason why he does not deserve to be in a cup car.
Well, he
Just
wins
goes
that.
to show that daddy's money can get you anything in life.
Mm-hmm.
And
At least his daddy named him Harrison and not Jeb with a B.
I guess my sad will be, I'll say Harvick not getting a top 10.
Fair enough. Herminator.
Don't really have a happy or a sad for this race. It was all right. I really don't have a dog in the fight anymore as far as the series is concerned. So once again, it's nothing struck me as amazing or fabulous or completely horrible for me. Race was decent. It was all right. It was good, some good action and a couple of good crashes and some really nice work done on pit road. But yeah, nothing specific stands out. It was a decent race.
All right. I'm going to start with my sad because I'm herming my happy. And I can do it. My sad is going to go to Martin Truex Jr. Engine failure, not what he wanted. You know, he's still, as far as I can see, he's in the running. You know, no one outside of Chris Buescher is really in a win and in situation. You know, Denny Hamlin and Martin Truex Jr. right now are sitting 37 points outside the lead. Anything can change unless you're Christopher Bell or, give me 1 second, unless you're Bell or Larson, who are locked in. Those are the only two guys that are guaranteed. You know, if you're Blaney, Byron, Reddick, Truex, Hamlin, these guys can point their way in or win their way in. The only guy that has to worry is Chris Buescher. So for me right now, I'm going to say Martin Truex Jr., even though we're going into Martinsville, which is a track he runs really freaking fantastic at, is my sad. I have 4 happies, and that goes to positions number 1, 4, 11, and 13. And that is Christopher Bell, William Byron, Kevin Harvick, Ryan Preece, the four horsemen, putting together a great show for Team Chris this weekend. So Corey Huffnagel can suck it sideways, because now is the point where we get into my favorite part of the week, mostly. It's the fantasy points, and we're going to start at the bottom, unfortunately. Bad week.
That's your favorite this week.
Well, it's been my favorite for a couple weeks because the points keep closing. Herm,
It was
not
bad.
the best
It was a
week.
bad
Not
week.
the best week
It was
ever.
not a good week at all.
Fourth place is Herm. Ross Chastain gave you 6 points. Daniel Suarez, 21. Eric Almirola, 28. And Brad Keselowski, 24, for a weekly total of 79. You currently sit at 32.77. You are 431 points off the lead.
I just
You
need
lost-
one good week.
Yeah. And by that, you mean 1, 2, 3, 4 for the next 2 weeks.
Right.
And even then, I'm not sure. But hey, for your first go round coming in halfway through the season, I'm going to give you credit. You lost 46 points to the leader. Tori Calhoun, wherever you are. And believe me, in the offseason, I'm going to figure out how to get everybody involved. Herm, Chris, Corey, Tank, and TJ. 5, like King Kong Bundy.
Just gonna
Don't
do
forget
that.
about your Duke boy.
Oh, we're going to put if the Duke is here every week, he could be in the fantasy. Abso-freaking-lutely.
Yeah.
Wait, let's take a vote. Starting with Herm. If Duke's going to be a part of the team, do we let the Duke in?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Tank?
Hell yeah.
Corey? All right, so I'm going to throw a thumbs up as well. I like the Duke, but Tori had a hell of a week. He was the third highest finisher. Joey Logano gave Tori 30 points, Ty Gibbs 34, Tyler Reddick 42, and Ricky Stenhouse a robust 10 for a weekly total of 116. His running total is 33.44. He is 364 points behind the leader, and Tori, you lost 9 points to the leader. Now we're going to go to second place because my team said William Byron, 49, Christopher Bell, 42, Kevin Harvick, 26, and Ryan Preece, 24, for the highest weekly total this week of 141. My running total is 36.73. I am 35 points behind the leader. I made up 16 points. With 2 races to go, Corey, this is going to be really, really good. And I'm not saying this to be a prick. I'm saying this is good. The next 2 weeks are going to be really, really good between you and I.
Hey, like I said, a lot can happen.
Yes, it could, because this week, Ryan Blaney gave you 53 points, Bubba Wallace, 31, Chase Elliott, 22, and Martin Truex, 19, for the second highest weekly total. I was the top of 125. Your running total is 37.08. So as we come down to these next 2 weeks, those 35 points that separate you and I could either exponentially grow, or I could narrow it down and beat you by 1 point. I'm not sure. But I still hate New Hampshire. I still hate the fact that I sat in the stands and said, when I watched 2 of my guys crash, I said, if you take the lead this week, I'm going to be really upset. I'm going to be pissed off beyond all levels of pistifity. And you took the lead that week.
I did.
But this has been fun. And now, with, let's see, we'll say 10 minutes. If Herm or Tank or myself, or if any of you out there in La La Land, it's time, once again, for Stump Stat Boy. And we'll start with JR. If he's got a question, you go right ahead, because I'm looking up my question now.
All right, Corey. Let's see if I can stump him.
You better be quick, because I ain't got all night.
Right.
How many times did Mark Martin finish second in the championship in his career.
Ooh. Do you have the answer?
Name the years.
Okay. 5
Oh,
times.
give him one question at a time.
All right. No, 5 times, and I know when he finished second. 1990, he finished second to Dale Earnhardt. And then 94, finished second to Dale Earnhardt. 2002, he finished second to Tony Stewart. And then 2009, he finished second to Jimmy Johnson. I don't know if I'm missing one, but those are the times he finished second in the championship.
How'd he do?
I give up, bro. I'm done. I've had it.
He asked me
seriously
one
done.
question and that's it.
You're fired. You're fired.
Oh, he asked me one question and that's it. Oh my goodness. That's
Wow. Wow.
Okay, I've got one that's going to stump you. How many career laps has Dale Jr. led at Talladega?
7,489.
My goodness.
That's a little deep.
It's got to be in the hundreds somewhere. It has
We'll
to be in
take
the
it.
hundreds.
We'll
Yeah.
take it.
All right. We all know that Michael Waltrip won the 2001 Daytona 500.
Yes.
But who led the most laps during that race?
Okay, I was watching and again, I usually watch this race sometimes.
Look at his hands. He's not looking at the Google machine. He's doing this. He's like, so I was watching this gimmick right here. He's not looking this up, guys. He is the Rain Man of racing.
Who led the most
laps in the 2001 Daytona 500?
God, who led the most laps? I'm going to be honest because I know this was the year that they had the restrictor plate and the new rules package, which, God, everybody led like lap after lap. Shit, I'm having trouble on this one. God, was it? I'd have to say, I'm going to have to say it was Ward Burton.
Fuck!
Did he lead the most laps?
53 laps.
Maybe that's why Mike Joy said, Ward Burton, the fastest car here, got wrecked.
All right. Second question. We all know that the duels set the front row.
Yes.
Of the Daytona 500.
Correct.
Who won the duels in 2001?
Oh, this one's easy. All right. Sterling Marlin won the first one because Dale Earnhardt pretty much had a good jump on the restart, and Sterling passed him on the backstretch, which, made that move too late. And then second race was when Mike Skinner won, but he won by inches over Dale Jr.
I'm not going to say it. I can't.
Hey,
why do you think I watch some of the old races on YouTube?
Not to cut you off, but speaking of Mike Skinner, I was at a little small town flea market thing they have close to my house. They have once a year. And I was walking through there, and dude had a bunch of Dale Earnhardt Sr. diecast cars. Ooh. And he had Mike Skinner 3 Goodrich truck.
Yes.
I was $10 short on buying that SOB. He wouldn't come down $10. I bought it. Autographed by Mike Skinner at Talladega. He would not come down $10 or I'd have bought it.
Damn.
Wow.
And I was going to send it straight to Chris Burns.
Why? What would I do with it?
Put it on the wall behind you, bro.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Oh, hey, by the way, speaking of your wall, I need you to send me your address after the show, and you have to pay for shipping, but I got some hero cars that you're going to want.
I got to pay for shipping?
Well, yeah.
What kind of ass baby rule is that?
Oh, Jesus.
Because, okay, listen. If shipping's under $20, I'll pay for it.
I'll tell you what.
Cards, you put them in an envelope.
Yeah, like 38 cents. The Fragile, it's like from France or something.
Like $4.
And by the way, the Bruins lost in overtime.
Well, you know.
Because the Bruins are ass. Go Preds.
Wow. Who are they?
Wow.
You know that team in Nashville that thanks to they had that one good year.
That kind of hurts.
All right. I don't even need to look this up. I'm going to ask Corey this question. The 2004 Richmond race, the Rock and Roll 400.
Yes.
Which is, to me, very special because not only did Kevin Harvick run a Kiss-themed race car,
right,
but Gene Simmons rode around on the parade lap with Kevin, who started 10th.
Yes.
Who pointed their way into the chase at that race?
Ryan Newman.
Wrong.
Okay.
Jeremy Mayfield.
Right. Even though he won the race.
You want to hear
won
another
the
funny
race
story?
and got his way into it. That was it.
Yeah.
That's how he did it.
All right.
Okay, so we're at Nashville a couple weeks ago, right? You know, the big race we had, So I'm on the spotter stand before our race. They have the late model Outlaws out running.
I heard this story.
And so I'm sitting there talking to this guy, and I was like, man, it'd be really cool to see Jeremy Meth Head Mayfield come on the show just as a joke. He goes, you know, Jeremy drives my car. He's in the 41 car right now. I was like, oh, shit. Oops. He said it's funny as hell, but I'm not going to say anything.
That is the epitome of don't.
Oh, yes. By the way, I tried to get Jeremy on the show, so we can't call him Meth Head Mayfield.
I don't. I've made my jokes in the past, but I was always a fan of Jeremy. Now
he wasn't a bad driver.
Well, I mean,
here
let's be
comes.
honest. I mean,
Good.
And I hate to say as well, not only he was on Dale Jr. Download like a while back, and of course, you know, we've all heard his story and everything, but you might want to remember, you know, Pocono 2000 was when he bumped Dale Earnhardt out of the way, and then and then it's funny because like when they interviewed Dale, you know, they asked him, "Oh, what did you do when you went up to Jeremy's car?" And he said, "I told him he was number one."
Now this question,
we're not sure what number, and like I said, you know, number one meaning like, you know, he's not number one like greatest. He's number one meaning, yeah.
Now this
Listen,
question.
here's my philosophy.
Oh,
I think Dale Earnhardt is probably the stock car driver. That's just my opinion. A lot of people are going to argue that, but in my opinion, Dale Earnhardt's the best guy to ever drive a stock car. Okay, he can't be mad for getting intimidated because he does it to everyone else. Mayfield went in there. He knew he had to move Dale to get out of the way. And Jeremy, in words, Dale would have moved me to win the race as well.
Exactly.
Last question of the night. And Corey, you better get this right.
Okay.
This weekend, had Herm still been living in Connecticut,
right,
would have been Big Herm's Fall Roaster. Some of the most fantastic food you will ever eat in your life.
Ooh.
You will put a piece of it on top of your head, and your tongue will beat the shit out of your face trying to get to that food. The question is, how much does it cost to get in to Big Herm's Fall Roaster?
Oh, jeez. You know what? I'm going to take a guess on this one. I'm going to say $10.
Okay. Junior, you want to try to beat Stat Boy on this one? Because he's wrong.
What's the question? I didn't hear it. Sorry, I was talking.
How much does it cost to get into Big Herm's Fall Roaster every year?
Fuck, free 99, baby. You just show the fuck up.
Free 99. That's it.
Yeah.
Herm takes care of the people who take care of him.
All right.
And I had to throw that out there because this weekend, a piece of me, and I know a piece of Herm is missing. We're glad to have you on the show. We're glad to have you a part of the family, but I'm missing those burnt ends. And I don't know who brought it, but that the banana pudding with the Nilla wafers and all that gimmick. Who made that?
I don't know who brought that.
Oh, that took me back to my childhood. I love that shit. Even though my aunt made that for every party, and as a kid, I was like, "This is disgusting." But sitting at Big Herm's Fall Roaster with a plate full of, dude, I had a mound like this big. Like, why are you eating that? Because I'm fucking 12 again. The mac and cheese, dude.
The mac and cheese.
It's time out. For those of you that don't know, I know. Obviously, Herm
It's not
knows. Terry
just
knows.
the mac and cheese. It's that
It's
mac and cheese.
that's right.
That's literally
Herm-
how it goes on the menu. That mac and cheese. And when I
It
refer
is.
to it as that, everybody knows what to expect.
And he asked me when I first got there. I was one of the first guys there. He goes, "I know you're lactose intolerant. Just try this. Just take a spoonful." And I did. I'm like, motherfucker. I will die if I eat any more of this.
Oh, it'll
It is
kill you.
that freaking good.
It'll
I
kill
believe
you.
it.
It'll kill you.
But I do want to tip my hat to the last weekend of October. I miss Big Herm's Fall Roaster. Obviously I miss you, my bald-headed brother. And just the fellowship that we all had. You got hooked on that yes, I did. Oh my god. And Terry's right. You get hooked on that mac and cheese. It's that freaking good.
Dude, I'm not tooting my own horn, but her husband doesn't eat pork.
Damn.
And he ate half his ass.
I believe he was asking for seconds on the pork belly.
I'm gonna throw something at Herm, and I like what he had to say. To quote the great Arn Anderson, "I'm not tooting my own horn, but toot toot." Let's be honest. At some point, we have to get you back just for a weekend. We'll rent.
We're not sure when it's coming, but it's coming here soon.
We'll rent Mohegan Park. I'll roll every smoker I know. I'll be there with you the night before. I'll drink with you from the night before to the day of. We'll smoke. We'll smoke Corey if we have to.
For real.
Because Corey's coming down.
Oh, I'll definitely come down for sure.
And JR will drive his ass up here. And dude, when you go to a Big Herm Fall Roaster, you do not leave. There's two things you don't leave. You don't leave not full, and you don't leave not happy.
Yeah, it's a good party. I throw a pretty good shindig.
Hey, so I have a genuine fucking idea here. You ready?
I'd love to hear it.
Talking half asleep. So why don't we save money as much as we can between now and 2020, the end of 2026? In 2027, why don't the Speedway review as a whole go to the Daytona 500?
2027?
Yes.
I'll do you one better. Why don't we do 2026? And I already have my place to stay, but if we're all talking about doing this together, we'll rent like a Herm. What's the name of that place? Residence Inn, where there's like a bedroom and a side bedroom and a couch and a chair and all that bullshit where everybody can sleep.
I'll just get a house.
Stop it.
Or you can rent a condo at the Pink Flamingo and get the penthouse suite. It's only
don't go to the Pink Flamingo. Stop it. No, I have nightmares.
No.
No, stop. You know what? Tomorrow, the next day, the day after that, give me 3 days. I'll tell you why the Pink Flamingo is bad.
I'll just rent a house with a few bedrooms.
Herm,
all right.
Well, yeah, we'll see.
Corey?
Christ, 3 years away.
Right? If you give us 3 years, fuck it. We can do it.
Well, yeah, I'm only saying that because it gives my kids a little bit time to get a little older, so it's not a whole weekend packed on mama.
Yeah, Herm could do it next week.
I could do it for fucking March. I'm just saying, like.
Take all those leggings with you.
Well, I will have one sidekick. I will have one sidekick.
Here's the real crazy part. Herm will say to me, "Dude, happy birthday. You're going." That's the crazy fucking part.
So we're pushing
the part. I love that.
I bought a ticket.
Yeah. Hey, you're going to Daytona. Well, I can't. I didn't ask you.
No, just come up with plane fare. I got everything else.
I didn't ask you.
We could also do a special show from the 500.
See?
That's what I'm saying.
We'll talk about it when it gets closer, guys. Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Dude, happy birthday. You're going.
Yeah, right. We'll pick the date. We'll let's see how this all goes because
within the next 3 years.
Yeah, because no offense, I know the producer. I know this time the producer's going to stay, as opposed to the last two. I know that Corey's going to stay because we've been doing this now for 6 years. And I have a good feeling that JR is going to stay. The one thing we have to figure out if we do this is how do we get TJ and Stephanie back to the hotel to party with us? Because you know they're both going to be there.
I
It's
don't know.
not
We'll figure that out. when
TJ's.
we get there.
TJ's going to be at a hotel or an Airbnb anyway. He'll just come over to where we're at and chill.
The next part is Tori fucking Calhoun. Because I'm not doing this without Tori fucking Calhoun.
Well, we're going to put up enough money so he can take that weekend off. If he gets fucking fired, we got your salary, bro. You're covered.
Wow, listen to you. All right. Fair enough.
We'll
Ladies and
talk about it
gentlemen,
closer.
ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in this week. We appreciate it, whether you watch us live or whether you watched us after the fact. We don't care. As long as you watch us, we're happy. Be aware of the Twitter, the YouTube, and now I guess the Instagram. I guess we're all over the place now.
Yeah, no. You can't post live to Instagram. He's got an Instagram account, but we can't post. I can't post live there, and you can't post a video as long as our show's on there either.
Here's the deal. Tell your fucking friends. Today, tomorrow, next week, next Christmas Eve. Doesn't matter. Tell your friends. If you know somebody that likes racing and you think, hey, these 4 idiots are pretty fucking cool, you tell them.
Yep.
Hey,
Because
Herm, check in on Big Duke. See how he's doing. See if the race is over yet.
Yeah, I'd have to call it up and do all that bullshit. I'm not doing that right now.
it's 10:07.
I asked that. Yeah, I mean, I still got to eat dinner. Jesus Christ.
I mean, for Herm, it's 8:00 over there in Poop Hole, Colorado. For those of us on the East Coast, it's 7 minutes after 10, and we gotta go.
Herm gets up at 3 a.m. every morning, which is
Past
5
2
a.m.
hours on
your
the
time.
yard.
How many of you are up at 5 a.m.? I'm up
Right.
at 3. So 8 o'clock for me is a long time. By the time I hit noon, I've been awake 9 hours already.
So if I get up at 5, what time is it for you?
3 o'clock.
I win.
Yeah,
Give
but
me my championship belt.
you're right where we are. You're right where I'm at right now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Championship.
You know what?
Ready to eat and go to bed.
3 words.
Well,
Old. 3 words. Old guys rule.
Yep.
That's it.
it's been a hell of a
For
show.
Corey,
Always.
for Corey, for Tank, for Herm, my name is Chris, and we wish you a great week. We'll talk to you after Martinsville, and everything, and I mean everything, will be set for championship weekend in Phoenix. Good night, everybody.
And happy Halloween.